What's going on YouTube? It's Dutchie from YGO Worldwide. Today I'm with Han, straight out of the locals from the Joker in Utrecht. Today we're playing in Zoetermeer at Spellenmeer.
Yeah, Spellenmeer Regional.
And this is our first place winner right here, Han. Yeah.
Here's the deck box.
Yeah, flex the box.
Flex the box. The playmat hasn't arrived yet. It will hopefully arrive via mail. So, yeah.
All right. So what was your record today, man? And how did it go?
I went technically undefeated, 6 wins, 1 draw, and I got 16 points, first place, tied for first place. But because of the tiebreakers, I got first place. There was only 2 undefeated people, and I played Labrynth. I can go through my matchups.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. What were your matchups like?
So first round, I played against Fiendsmith Chimera. So I played against 5 Fiendsmith opponents and different variations, and 2 others. So a lot of Fiendsmiths. So Fiendsmith Chimera first round, I lost die roll, 1-2-0. Fiendsmith Kashira lost the die roll again, 1-2-1. And then third round, I lost the die roll against Fiendsmith Magical Musketeers, 1-2-1. I won the dice roll against Yugioh Fiendsmith. I won that match 2-1. In the fifth round, I lost the die roll against Tempai, which doesn't matter actually. I won 2-1. In the sixth round, I lost the die roll against Fiendsmith Kashira. It was a draw. And then in my final round, I lost the roll against Memento, and then I won 2-1. So 6-0-1 record.
Nice.
Yep.
And how many cards in the main?
40 cards, main, 15-15, usual. Yeah. Before we start the deck profile, first of all, shoutouts to all the homies that came here from Utrecht, local bros, and Vin was also here, but he left earlier. Yeah. He has a business trip in Germany. Safe travels to him.
Shoutouts to him.
Yeah. Also, the group chat, the Sigma Monkeys, Bandy Mate, Victor, you guys know him. And then all the Hungarian gang who have helped me throughout my tournaments, even though they don't play. Shout out to my family back in Istanbul, and also Çorum, to my grandma.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all. And also to the locals in Istanbul, the Goblin gang. Goblin Oyun Kulübü. I'm rocking their life point count.
Oh, very cool.
Yep. All right. So,
let's
first of all, the best field centers, Sky Striker, the Dieren Cartiers, and also the Han Solo. This is my win con for today. Okay. So, for standard stuff, one lovely, one lady, because I'm playing Furniture Lab, not Stun Lab. I'm planning to get these out of the deck, and if they banish it, they banish it. I guess they're better than me with like SP and stuff. Because it's a Furniture Lab, I'm playing 3 Arianas.
Yep.
3 Zoetermeer, 3 Chandeliers, and 1 Cooklock. That's also standard in my opinion for the furniture cards. You don't want to draw multiples, you can just search. And then you can also...
Were good? All those ratios were good?
Yeah. Like, these allow you access to your welcome traps so much that like you have, 17 ways of getting to the welcomes. And if you want to go fast, so the deck's idea is to use the traps that are slow for a reason, that like have an effect that's attached to a trap because they have to be slow because they are broken. Play them fast with cards like Cooklock, and also finally I'm playing 3 Arias. So Trap Lab Turbo, planning to Dorma my opponent on their turn and going second. It also really helps breaking boards. So that's it. For the final monster, 3 black backcheck. So this is sort of a budget build because if you're playing the Turbo Lab, you're mostly playing Fuvaros as well because you need to deep draw into the Arias plus trap or like backcheck plus Chandelier or like any furniture combo. But because I didn't have Fuvaroses, I choose to keep these in because like if you have Fuvaroses, you don't need to have like more enablers that activate traps during your opponent's turn. You can just draw into these because like if they decide to play, you'll get like 3, 4, 5 draws anyway. So the rest of the deck is traps.
So you go 6-0-1.
Yeah.
If you had Fualos, would that have made your day better? Like reflecting on your game.
I would say probably easier.
Yeah.
Because like I think in all the matchups, because like you can just chain Fuaros to the Requiem and then you at least get a draw, so you don't even like lose anything. That like for example in other decks you have to draw phase in the Fuaros in the draw phase and your opponent does nothing and then you don't gain anything from that. But like here in this deck you can hold it and then just at least use it as an upstart goblin, and if they ash it, then it means that they are not ashing your welcome traps, which is also nice in my opinion.
Okay.
One field spell, I sided this one out most of the times, going first and second even, because like it's not a card that allows you to break your opponent's board. You have to find the setup first, and all the Fiendsmith variants and like other decks I played against had like multiple hand traps to stop the welcome traps. So these ones. So if I cannot resolve the welcome traps, this does nothing. But it's a surprise factor for game one, so I would still keep it in the main deck. But it's an easy side out for going second, because like if you can start resolving your welcome traps with the field spell up, then it's broken. For the welcome traps, speaking of them, 3 big welcome and 2 welcome labyrinth. This does not trigger anything. This triggers everything in your deck, including the furnitures and the Ariana, everything, or like the lovely. So I decided to, of course, max out, and then because I can access it anytime, and it's like hard ones per turn, better not draw multiples or like have multiple sets for no reason. So more spaces for live traps. So one-offs, or my one-off transaction rollback and rivalry. I was playing 2 rollbacks at 41 and decided on cutting them because I still have backjack, because that also can be a valuable discard for the furnitures, and this is also good against Tempai going first. If they make you go first, you at least have an out, because if you have Lady, like I try to get Lady as soon as possible onto the board, and then if they lightning storm me, do anything, I chain my trap and then chain to that Lady to set rollback. Rollback goes to the graveyard on the res, and I can, if I have, I don't know, Dharma in my graveyard, I can just Dharma them from the graveyard with rollback. And if I draw it, that's also nice. I drew it like a couple of times today, and it was nice. Rivalry is in the main deck because it's also a board breaker going second. Like you can just set it, activate it during your opponent's turn. If they're not playing something like yugioh, they just have to send most of the stuff to the graveyard, and it's kind of Dharma, but it also hinders their players after it resolves as well. So the reason I didn't choose Skill Drain was this exact reason, because Skill Drain, they still have the bodies, they can do stuff with them. Like if I'm gonna lose the board breaker anyways, because I'm not playing any board breaker outs, like I don't play any Runics, any Lord of the Heavenly Prisons. If I'm gonna lose to those, let's play the best one possible. And 4 hand traps. An actual hand trap in a trap deck. Dominus Impulse and Imperm, of course, Imperm, and also Dominus Impulse. They're like, I think it's very necessary in this deck, especially in this deck, because you can keep this in your hand, summon Lady, and then just use it from your hand and trigger Lady while your opponent doesn't expect it. And like I only had 1 of this because I couldn't find it on time on the latest regional, and like even won me so many games, and like I was like, I might not buy the Fuaros because of the price, but I need the rest. So I bought these and they were very nice. Recommended. For the blowout traps and tutors to get them. I'm playing 5 blowout traps and 3 trap tricks, which can also be engine. Just usual Dharma. These were Dogmatica punishments like 2 months ago, and I decided to play a kind of a math lab, but like a turbo trap version, and I had to make a decision of, I have bodies that I can do link stuff with, whereas the trap lab doesn't, but if I can resolve this one, I win anyways, and I don't lose to the board breakers math lab loses, or like the trap lab loses too, because I can just use big welcome, use furnitures, have a lot of follow-up, and with just these 2 tech cards, I can also win some unwinnable games by just blowing my opponents out. So that was the reasoning, and I decided to keep only 2 cards that was in the furniture version, and just switch the rest to the Xyz and the fusion cards that are necessary for the equation cannon.
Are you happy you went with that choice?
Yeah, like I was mentioning that earlier before. I couldn't resolve, like I did a maths mistake on a Kashra Fiendsmith opponent that I drew against, and I couldn't resolve the equation cannon, and I lost the game because of that. So I wasn't prepared for this, but if I could resolve it, it was really nice. This card needs a lot more setup, or like a lot more thought behind it for it to work, and you need to practice a lot to work with it efficiently, and don't just take your time, because at some point it's like slow play.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. But yeah, if your mind is sharp, then there's no reason to not play this card. Yeah. So extra deck for the simultaneous equation cards. I'm playing these 5 fusions and 6, 5, 4, 3. Not 2, not 1 or 7 or above, because I wanted to play these 2. This is insane while breaking boards. This is kind of nice. I summoned it once or twice to bring back Lovely during my turn after it was outed. So yeah, if you're going even in the Trap Lab version, I would definitely say play at least one of this, because
Typhon, that's not standard?
Like most of the time, if you're playing the simultaneous equation cannon, to have the most coverage, you go for like the level 6 or play level 7s here. So you fill your whole extra deck with the equation cannon cards.
Okay.
But I was like, I need to have my just tech cards that are situational, but if they come up, I can just turn the game around and then win from those, because the equation cannon is not the only strategy that I can beat my opponent with. And I chose, instead of, is there a level 4? Yeah, there's like Gary, but like in case somebody's playing Punishment, Maximus, I chose the Antis for that. Yeah, I might switch this one for a level 6, because level 6 is with the U-Bells, depending on who U-Bell is in the next format, is very nice. Also, it would have allowed me to make the equation cannon live and banish everything on his field in the 6th round. But in the CRBR format, I don't think I'm even gonna play equation cannon because of Malice and Yugioh. Those are link decks and Xyz rank 4 decks, which don't do anything against, simultaneous equation cannon doesn't do anything. Okay. For side deck, going first cards, these. I've sided in these 2 and Called by the Grave, I think, against this is my first and second side against Tempai, no matter what they choose to go. This is against either Shifter going first, or Mulch Armies if I have a fast hand, or the Seals going second. And yeah, I'm just Snake Eyes every deck that is combo heavy, and this is against any spell or trap heavy deck like Runic. I would side this in, or Sky Strikers, Mirror Match, because even if you're going second, you have to side this in, because if you set it from the deck with the lady, and then you just win. If you're able to resolve this, then you're winning. I sided these 4 in, going second against Memento in the last round, and I drew this plus Arias, and that won me the game. I was it's the last round, there's go big or go home. yeah, it worked out, I guess, yeah. These, I think, are the staples of a Furniture Lab side deck. These 5, maybe you would play Double Eradicator if you want to trap trick it, but it's never my last play. I want to do this first play, look at my opponent's hand, and decide on what traps to use, because if I get it from the trap trick, this has to be the last trap I activate. So it's no, if I cannot activate any of my other cards, I guess hand loop yourself or through, but but like you have 4 more cards in your hand that I can respond with my trap. So I decided to use only one to set it with Lady. Yeah, and then Called by the Grave for the Ash or Bell, whatever. Like especially the Casher Fiendsmith deck that's currently roaming around that plays like 20 traps, 20 hand traps, and it's like Bell. They even play Bell now, so I have to.
Bell's back.
Yeah, Bell's back. Like, well, if you're playing 20 hand traps, why not play Bell as well? So
Throw in
Bell,
nibs.
Ash, and
Throw in nibs. Throw in everything.
Yeah. And for against Runic, 3 Cosmics, and like, yeah, that was my main issue with the Runic matchup. So like Fountain and other stuff. So Cosmic. Like the bad matchups are Runic, Fire King, nothing else, I guess. Like it's either favored for your end or just neutral, which you can beat with grinding. And going second cards, Shifters, and my addition last minute, last night, after a reasonable amount of thought, Sphere Modes. So this was Rescue Ace, Impulse, and this was the draw 2, discard 1 card. You tribute this from like the Rescue Ace card from your hand, and then special summon this from the deck, and then if your opponent has a card from anywhere, I think, to their hand, you draw 1. You draw 2, discard 1. It's like Phantasme, but it's much less restricted, but it's a fire. It's situational. I drew the brick many times during testing, so I was like, I have to play something else. Ideally Fuvaros, because I also like Called by the Grave. I don't want like a package with like 1 brick. Ideally Fuvaros, but I don't have it, so I was like, at least against Yubel, Snake Eyes, or like any combo heavy stuff, let's put these. I only put this once against Yubel. I drew Imperm, Impulse, and Sphere Mode. So the deck idea itself conflicts with Sphere Mode, but I was like, better have it. So like, I want to stop my opponent before popping off. This wants my opponent to pop off. But like, it worked out in the end because I could stop him with my hand traps, and then I just discarded for a Furniture, which is nice, which you cannot do in the Trap Lab version. But like, yeah, but this is the MVP, just the turn skip.
Nice. How many games do you think you sided the?
Only once. Only once against going second against Dubal. Because like all the Fiendsmith engine decks, they always like, I don't know. The Fiendsmith Casher is like Desiree plus Unicorn, Fenrir. Fenrir does not do anything. Unicorn does not do anything against this deck. Or like, I can stop them before getting into Desiree. Like, if I have only 1 Imperm, I save it for the sequence, and then no Omni Negates, I'm chilling. I can just Dharma their board and then do a bunch of other stuff. So, like, I would rather have the turbo cards against them, or like more engine pieces to push through the hand traps. That was the idea. Yeah, cool. Like overall, yeah, Shifters, OP. Yeah.
Any closing thoughts?
Any closing thoughts? No, if you have any questions, I'm glad to answer them.
And what's your, you have a YouTube channel or something you want to shout out maybe?
I have a YouTube channel that releases content in Turkish for my Turkish bros in Istanbul, Ankara, wherever in Turkey, wherever in the world. And yeah, it's mostly in Turkish, but I have some nice deck profiles, matches, vlogs there as well.
That's really cool. I'll like link it in the description.
Yeah.
Congratulations on first place, Han.
Thank you.
Yo. Yeah.